So Emily, you're up. So let me tell you a bit about Emily. She's MD of Red's Life Division, focusing on consumer health and well-being, beauty, parenting, household, public sector, food and nutrition. During her time at Red, Emily's worked on high-impact campaigns for Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, GSK, Pfizer and Nestle, as well as creating award-winning behavioural change campaigns. And she's going to be talking through one of them today. It's a lot of work the agency's done for NHS Blood and Transplant. You've worked on the account for several years, I think the agency has.
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. And I think you joked that you spent a lot of time last year writing
Entries,
award entries.
yeah.
Very successfully winning lots of awards as well. Over
Yes.
to you.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm going to talk to you today about NHS Blood and Transplant. We've been working with them for almost 2 years. The pitch was about 22 months ago, in fact. During that time, we've put out 4 campaigns, the most recent being Christmas. Most of the award wins and nominations for those have been around Team Give Blood, which was our stock build campaign in the run-up to the Olympics. We've also had nominations also on our 100,000 new donors in 100 days, and also for No Blood, Give Blood. So rather than talking about one campaign specifically, I thought it would be helpful to talk about perhaps all of these campaigns and some of the similarities about how we put them together. Red's one of the most award-winning PR agencies in the UK, and having a client like this is an absolute gift and a dream. It's a great subject talking about blood donation. And so, to be honest, we always set out to win awards for these the campaigns that we do. So I'll talk you through about how we do that. There's sort of a few main things that I say come into all of these things, is that collaboration, how we set the targets, how we create those really bright, shareable, simple ideas, and how we deliver return on investment. I mean, we're spending public money here, so we have to be really cautious and careful about getting the most bang for our buck. And then finally, I'll just talk a little bit about storytelling at the end, about how we put our campaign awards together. So in terms of kind of collaboration and relationships, they are great clients. There's marketing people, there's logistics people, there's PR people, they've got comms teams. And I think from the very beginning, one of the things that we pitched to them was this concept of co-creation. Is that yes, Red is absolutely the driving force behind creating those big concept strategy ideas. But we were pretty new to the party, and we had a massive task ahead of us with the Olympic Stop Build campaign. So absolutely, we're going to be talking to our clients about what they can help us with. And they've been fantastic. They've been with us every step of the way, giving us all the stats and facts, organising logistically challenging things like from getting bloodmobiles into the Tower of London, getting up early for interviews. One of the first campaigns, we went to them and said, well, how do you feel like a bunch of blood donors, pretty much naked, with just body paint, outside the Tower of London, walking around London. It was like, we're the Department of Health, can we do this? Yes, you can. And they're brave clients, and that really helps in terms of that they want to win awards, they want to do great work. I mean, ultimately, there is a need, there's a business need, a commercial need. The NHS needs blood, so effectively the campaigns do have to work. So they've done pretty much everything for us. I mean, my last Christmas campaign, my client was wearing a Santa suit next to our account manager, who was also wearing a Santa suit. So we've been very fortunate in that. And that relationship is something that we work hard at. We're very open, honest with them. They come to brainstorms, really early stage brainstorms, which, most people, you think, oh, I don't want my client in the meeting. But, they come in, it all comes out. And we work very collaboratively with the other agencies as well. So they've got other agencies, DM agencies, ad agencies, and we all work together to make it work. So that's the first part of doing an award-winning campaign. The second part is on the targets. Now, they always need blood, and they always need new donors to come forward and become blood donors, because existing blood donors drop out for sort of often medical lifestyle reasons. So that's not very interesting. We always need blood, we always need donors. So essentially, we work hard with them at the beginning of every campaign to pull together a really tangible target that we can all get behind and work towards. And this isn't done just for PR purposes, this is done for internal purposes as well, that people can get behind. So we have these overarching sort of outcomes that we're aiming for in the beginning. So, for the Olympics, we needed to build 30% more blood stock. Then we did a new donor drive, and we came up with getting 100,000 donors in 100 days. And we actually made that target part of the actual story. And often these will form the kind of basis of the appeal of what we're going out with. But sitting underneath the outcomes, we always work very closely with Metrica to identify what are the different outputs and outtakes that support that. So when you've got your 3 objectives listed in your award entry, you've thought through from the beginning about how you're going to prove that what you did, whether it was hits to their website, whether it was calls to their line, whether it was, the publicity spike, whether it was likes, shares, it's all thought through from the very beginning about how is that result, where is that going to fit against my objective. And it does seem insane, but we meet with Metrica before we do a campaign. We've decided what we're going to do and how we're going to measure it. So that's all put in place at the very beginning. And whether we need any supplementary research from the client, we'll put that in place at the beginning as well. The fun bit is how do you come up with the ideas? So I'll talk you through a few different ones. I think what you were saying earlier, they've got to be simple. You've got to be able to see them on the page. How are they going to work? And a lot of our ideas are very visual. So just 2 here. On the left-hand side, we've got Rosie Fortescue from Made in Chelsea, recreating Rosie the Riveter, which was a wartime poster about war, about we can all do it, we can all get involved. And this is part of our Team Give Blood campaign. And it was a poster that was recreated that was actually put in blood donation centres around the country. Strategically, the reason for going with something like this is we'd already gone out with a big, heavy, harder news kind of angle story. And we were looking for something to fill the kind of celeb lifestyle pages, and so that's why we went with this poster. I've got to say, this all looks a lot more expensive than it is. I mean, this is done either in our offices or in the basement of the NHS West End Donor Blood Centre, with a photographer, with a makeup artist. We've just got a really good in-house design team who managed to make these things look fantastic. So that was like a poster campaign during National Blood Week Year 1. Year 1 with us being involved. Year 2, we were again looking for something to go alongside a broader campaign, which would remind people who used to donate that they should come back and donate again. So we were kind of trying to, get the low-hanging fruit of people who were already aware of it. And I'm sure last year you'll remember that David Bowie was like the comeback king of the year, and it was very topical. And so we went down the kind of Aladdin saying, let's recreate it, get some kind of celebs to recreate that iconic picture, and do another poster. And so these 2 campaigns kind of linked up in the fact that this was the kind of poster for National Blood Week 2013, and again, something that went in sort of blood donation centres around the country. And obviously there's a nice link with David Bowie with the heroes and being a hero and donating blood. And just another one, this was the Team GB, which was, as I said, won multiple awards. We actually did go and get permission to use Team Give Blood. Obviously the reason we were being tasked with generating more blood was because of the Olympics, so the Olympic Committee were very good about giving us the go-ahead to do that. And so this campaign specifically, while it might look like just a bunch of celebs, you got a few celebs on board and put them in some outfits, strategically the point about it was we were talking about different blood types, ONEG being one of the ones that you actually really want people to go in and give because it can be given to anybody. And so what we've chosen is celebrities to be captain of each blood type, which really spun off into a really great social campaign about what blood type are you, and I'm on Gary's team, I'm on Pooja's team, etc. But just to reassure you that we don't have a whole bank of celebrities lining up, it's really painful because we can't pay any of these people. You wouldn't give them a penny, and you have to fit around their timings, their schedules. And I've got to say, they've all got a personal link to blood donation. They have to either be a donor, or like Gary Lineker's son had a blood transfusion at birth, like Greg James that we worked with, he had a blood transfusion when he was born. We don't just have celebrities though. We do come up with other ideas. So again, this was again linking back to the fact that you want blood donors, people to think about what blood type are they. If I'm lying there and I've had an accident, what blood are you going to put into me? You know, am I AB, am I A+? Most people don't know. So this was a way of kind of creatively getting people to think about it. This was a DTC stunt that took place over London. It absolutely poured with rain. It was absolutely horrific. Actually, the piece in the Daily Mail ended up being about the fact that it was raining. And my team were up at like 4 a.m. body painting, blood donors, you know. Well, they weren't. We had obviously had makeup artists doing that. And then transporting them around London, holding things over them to get these sort of fantastic shots. It was a great shareable, great picture story, great broadcast collateral. And then just finally, because it was Christmas not so long ago, this was just a kind of part of our Christmas campaign, which was must-have gift. West End Blood Donor Centre. You've got your lovely Father Santas going in and then coming out drained of all their blood. Really nice, easy to understand, immediate picture, but talking about client collaboration. That's our client, first one on right, our account manager on the left, and my husband is actually second from the back. I'd like to get everybody involved. We're all blood donors at the Red Consultancy. In terms of delivering ROI, I think just what I said is that we sweat every asset we create. And again, we think about this in advance. It's like, you know, Gary Lineker's face ended up being on all of the DM envelopes that went out to kind of existing donors. So we make sure, and everything from the, you know, the outreach that we do to the assets that we create, every time we have anything, we've thought through about who else is going to use it, how are they going to use it, when are they going to need it by, what sort of format am I going to want it in. You know, do I do it? Is it going to work across the Facebook page? Is it going to work for a Facebook ad? Is it going to go in their internal donor magazine? And we negotiate. We go into every photographer, every videographer. We've got no money, we're the NHS. You know, we're always constantly trying to keep the money down and create things. And it's not just us who create things, you know, we work with the other agencies as well. So part of our Christmas campaign, the ad agency did a really great video that we worked together on, that we then promoted socially and sort of editorially. And then my last point is about writing the award entries. As I said, yes, I write a lot of the award entries at Red for the campaigns that I'm involved with. It's a laborious, painstaking process. And I think just two main points for me is style and substance. Is that make it something that people are going to want to read, you know, put some emotion into the language, you know, have it flow, make it dramatic, make it, you know, make use of the drama, create drama where you can. And then with the substance, you know, there's loads of stuff that I don't mention in an award entry, because often the campaigns that we do are so complex and there's so many elements to them, but at the end of the day the judge doesn't necessarily need to know all of those finer details. So it's like making sure your outcomes meet your objectives. We always have independent evaluation on all of our campaigns, usually done by Metrica. The clear insights, what made us think that that would be a good idea to do it, and then obviously keeping the strategy really concise. And so I would encourage you all to visit blood.co.uk and sign up to become a blood donor. It's very good for your health.
Fantastic. Thank you, Emily. Great stuff. Thank you very much.